Observation!
I was working with majority-approved established director on Corporate Mind Gruel the movie when he told me, "We completed our part on the assembly line, our work was adequate, and we could all go home." Majority-approved established director was a blast to work with. We'd be constantly sharing ideas on how to change the script in such a quick and upbeat way, people swore we were speaking in a different language. Haha. I mean, sometimes we were speaking Nahuatl to each other about which cast member's sacrifice would most please the obsidian butterfly. The cast and crew would catch us all the time in these energetic production delays and would just stare at us angrily. Neiman Temmie, that sure is a charming lens through which I'm remembering wasting my coworkers' time. Haha. Late one night after rehearsal, I walked into the dining area of the Pine Tree Inn. I found majority-approved established director playing piano. He smiled at me and asked me why I was there. I told him I was a bit hungry and I had heard there were sandwiches and buttermilk. He quickly fetched a tray of sandwiches and a pitcher of buttermilk while doing funny waiter impressions. The director told me, eating different sandwiches gives you different dreams. A ham and cheese on rye meant I would dream about a tall, cool blonde. Turkey, a brunette. A little on the scat backside, but oh, sexy. I asked him what about the liverwurst, and he joyfully responded incoherently.
Magic sandwiches!
I was a little chilly, so we gathered our stuff and sat next to an open hearth where some nice Vermont logs burned briskly. I was having trouble falling asleep, so the director sang to me. It was enchanting. I sang the chorus with him, and I never even heard the song before.
Intuition!
Then he smoked a pipe. I told him that what he was doing for the general was one of the nicest things I had ever heard. No angle, Lady Fair, and the white horse. Knights on white horses are kind of dangerous. You're likely to fall off, you know. Mine is here to stay, though. It's a little shaky all alone, up on one of those bleached chargers. He said it would worry him, kind of. No. I've never heard of Bing Crosby. I have heard of something similar on the set of The Silence of the Lambs, though.
Release the vampire's soul. Release your destiny. Become the beacon. You are the traveler. You are the doer. The road will be long. The road will be hard. If you can breathe, you can fight. Let the rain wash away your past mistakes. This storm is your forge. You, the steel, emerge better. Strive. You have bled. You will bleed again. It is a reminder. Focus. Seek quantifiable progress. Peer not into the abyss. Attack. Excel. Balance, maneuver, anticipate thousands more. Always forward, cycle feet, cycle mind. No victories are earned. Respect, reason, responsibility, logic. Ignorance is disease. Compassion is underrated. Good friends sustain wellness. Desire, knowledge. Slaughter the ego. Beware foolish pride. Love, remember good deeds. Whoa! Okay, for a moment there, I thought I could actually reach you. Go back to your suicide chambers. Rot in your comfortable lies, you fucking tools. I'm going to buy a Black Sabbath album, drink coffee, take pride in my own subversions to this irreverent smugfest. Fuck off!
I met Ernest P. Worrell once. It was right before Halloween. Ernest put his hand on the trunk of a tree and said, "Yay, I called the fourth Trantor," and then he started knocking on the tree trunk. I said, "Listen here, Ernest, there will be no troll summoning tonight." He dipped his head and did a cutaway. I saw a high school age Ernest write as punishment on a chalkboard. His monotone teacher said to me, "Ernest never knew when to quit," and Ernest dragged his fingernails down the chalkboard. His teacher smacked Ernest's head against the chalkboard and the cutaway ended. We were right back at the Renaissance Fair discussing the relevance of Daenerys Targaryen in the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones. Ernest suggested that the Stormborn story had almost nothing to do with the rest of the show during the first 4 seasons. Therefore, her story should have been either heavily cut down in Game of Thrones or been part of her own spin-off. Now, Ernest was an American original, just like yours truly, and that majestic gleam in Ernest's eye was hard to disagree with. The Mother of Dragons was a huge detractor from the main plot of Game of Thrones for many years. Ernest once saved Christmas, and he also taught a bunch of juvenile delinquents how to be brave warriors by passing the test of the Great Spirit. I think the man knows what he's talking about. Ernest was full of great stories. He even taught me how to make eggs erroneous. Powdered eggs with 17 herbs and spices, smuggled into the country by Tibetan monks. Rumor has it, the secret ingredients is 2 pounds of yellow modeling clay. Of course, it wasn't all family secret bowling techniques and exciting tales from his times in jail. Old Ernest was off his meds again. That majestic gleam in Ernest's eye faded a bit. Poor guy just looking around and talking to nothing. Talking to his notorious paranoid delusion, Vern. It was sad to see. I just made sure he got a cab home. Then I went to the pub and harassed beer wenches until the sun came up. Just goes to show it don't matter who you are. We all got flaws and anything can happen to anyone at any time. Still, I got to spend a day with an American original, and I will cherish that memory for the rest of my days.
Senor Crouts and the Foliage conversate along their hike.
So, all right. So the guy says, why don't you make like a tree and leave?
Wow. Okay.
What?
That's pretty offensive.
Yeah, how is that offensive?
Sentient vegetation has fought for years to disprove negative stereotypes, and yet discrimination of our kind is still prevalent.
I had no idea.
No, do you not remember the Million Moss March in D.C.?
No.
That figures.
Why does that figure?
You have a history of being oblivious to common decency.
What are you talking about?
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay. Remember that Mommy and Me gift you bought for your sister-in-law, Cheryl?
Yeah, sure. What was wrong with it?
You bought her a sex swing and 2 gallons of industrial-strength lube.
Yeah. What was wrong with that? You know, people sometimes forget to get the mom a gift at those parties.
You wrote in the card that they were emergency supplies for you and Cheryl to use together if your brother Harris, quote, kicks the bucket early.
Kicks the bucket? Yeah, so?
So, you said you intended to participate in deviant sex acts with your sister-in-law, the mother of your nephew, in the tragic event of your brother's premature death.
You say deviant as if it's a bad thing.
Because that's the definition of the word.
But if things go in my favor, if things go in my favor, it could be all in Cheryl.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm just an optimistic guy.
Whatever. The only thing I didn't understand is what you meant when you signed the card, a.k.a. the sneaky penetrator.
That's simple. It's because you don't see me coming, and then you don't see me coming.
Oh, that is fucking terrible.